With patch 11.1.7 arriving next week, we wanted to cover one of the newest features arriving, which is going to be called the Overcharged Delves. Arriving on June 17th will be the introduction of these new delves, and how this works is that each day 2 bountiful delves will be overcharged, and we'll be able to tell which ones they are by the lightning effects crackling off of the delve icons. Now take note that after we clear that bountiful delve, we'll be able to get the bountiful awards, but they will stay overcharged until the daily reset,
meaning this event is going to be spammable.
However, before we go more into the Overcharged Delve itself, we'll first talk about the new customizable piece of gear we'll be getting called the Durable Information Carrying Container, which is going to be a belt. Similar to Cersei's circlet from the Siren Isle, the belt will allow us to attach effects onto it like a healing or shield buff, or even passive attributes such as increasing our stamina, our mastery, giving us haste and a healing whenever we defeat an enemy, and lastly, even a primary stat increase. To unlock the belt and its upgrades, we'll be able to do so from Dagran Thorison, located near Bran Bronzebeard in Dornogal. We'll pick up a quest chain that unlocks the overall Overcharged Delves features as well as the belt. It's also worth noting that during PTR testing, we were able to find out that each week players will be able to pick up a weekly quest that rewards players with the Titan memory card. And this will empower our belt and in turn increase its item level up
to a maximum of 701 when fully upgraded, though that will take 5 weeks of time in order to fully upgrade.
The quest itself will act as a weekly and will award us as well with an overcharged chest, which gives us champion tier gear and a restored coffer key. We were also able to find out that if players do miss a weekly quest or decide to bring in an alt to upgrade their own belt, they'll be able to pick up the weekly quest back to back until they're all caught up. Along with it, we'll also be getting a feature similar to the Horrific Visions Hourglass called the Overcharged Titan Console, where we'll be able to unlock up to 17 perks that make the delve runs easier and easier. Now, along with the Overcharged Delves, we'll also be able to pick up a new currency called the Titan Disc Shards, which will act as our main currency we'll use to unlock the perks from the console, as well as work our way towards one of the new achievements called the Titan Console Overcharged, which requires us to gather enough currency to unlock all perks on the console, which in turn will reward us with one of the newest mounts arriving this patch called the OC91 Chariot. Now, during PTR we tested on average, we were able to receive anywhere between 60 up to 80 Titan Disc Shards per run, and since there are 17 perks on the Titan console, that means we'll need a total of 1700 Titan Disc Shards to unlock them all, which means it'll take us more than 22 Overcharged Delve runs in order to fully unlock and upgrade our Titan console, giving us the mount.
Lastly, the belt will also be attachable with 2 abilities, and these are going to be unlockable from doing certain delves even though they're not overcharged. It's worth remembering that any of these attachable abilities can be used outside of overcharged delves, so stuff like PvP, dungeons, raids, and just generally open world content. Though for those curious on which bountiful delves are going to be overcharged, as a PTR testing we were able to find out that 6 of these bountiful delves are going to rotate to be overcharged. So that's going to be the Kregval's Rest, Fungal Folly, the Nightfall Sanctum, the Spiral Weave, the Skittering Breach, and the Side Street Sluice. Now, there's going to be 9 of these attachable abilities, and when we did PTR, we were able to start out with 2. But take note that this could change once this patch goes live. So our first 2 abilities are going to be the Charged Bolts and the Cauterizing Bolts. These will be unlocked just by getting the belt itself. The Charged Bolts will give us a chance to apply a damage over time debuff on a target nearby, while the Cauterizing Bolts will give us a chance to apply a healing over time to a friendly target. For the next one, it'll take us a bit of time to get, since to unlock it we have to get the perk Titan Force Shield, which requires us a total of 300 Titan Disc Shards to get. This ability is going to be called the Energy Shield, and this will grant us a shield for 10 seconds. Upon expiring, it'll deal 30% of the remaining shield amount as damage split between enemies nearby. For finishing Kregval's Rest, regardless of it being overcharged or not, we'll get the Charged Touch, which gives us a chance to heal the lowest health-friendly target. For clearing the Fungal Folly, we'll get the Spark Burst, which increases our haste for about 20 seconds, so it's going to be a haste buff. And for clearing the Skittering Breach will get access to Critical Chain, which gives us a chance to give us a stacking critical strike buff that lasts for 20 seconds. Now this will increase our critical strike chance every 2 seconds until the buff runs out. Next up is going to be for clearing Nightfall Sanctum. We'll get the Charged Crystal, which will give our attacks a chance to chuck a lightning bolt to our target and split the damage to nearby enemies. Upon completing the Spiral Weave, we'll get access to the Electric Current, which grants us a stacking mastery buff upon entering combat. Now this is a bit quirky, but how it works is that every 2 seconds it'll ramp up our mastery until we reach 24 seconds. And then it'll start to tick down every 2 seconds, meaning our mastery buff will start to decrease every 2 seconds until it hits the initial starting buff, which is upon entering combat. So this will repeat until we exit out of combat. And lastly, for clearing the Side Street Sluice, we'll get the Static Charge, which was initially very strong in PTR, but recently they've toned it down to make the previous abilities a bit more viable. The Static Charge will give us a chance to apply versatility buff for 30 seconds to ourselves. However, every spell and ability after the buff is applied will reduce that versatility bonus down by 5% until the buff runs out. Now, as a reminder, these attachable abilities can be used outside of Delves, and they will also be accessible to our warband when fully unlocked.
Now, as a general tip for those looking to get mount out of the way, the amount of overcharged Titan disc that we get per run doesn't fluctuate or does not change depending on the difficulty of the delve, so we can just look to spam these overcharged delves at tier 1, since doing them at a higher tier doesn't really give us even more Titan disc shards. So with that in mind, we can just blast our way through tier 1, and once done with that delve, we can just redo it right off the bat. But that's about it for the video. Leave a like and subscribe if the information was useful, and thank you so much for watching it, and we'll see you in the next one.